Guess what time it is?
Something like 10. She went there.
It's our favorite time when we go to any new city because we get the opportunity to go to El Centro of El Centro. We're in the gazebo. What's up, Tangerinis?
We are here in New City. Comala, Colima.
We just arrived yesterday. It's a little bit different weather than we're used to these days. It's about 82 degrees, high of 88 with almost 70% humidity.
Slightly hotter than we're used to. But thankfully we're staying in a place with ice cold AC.
So Comala, Colima is actually a Pueblo Magico, a magic town.
To our surprise, we've only been to 3 before this.
Womp,
Tequila,
womp, womp.
Jalisco, Mazamitla, Jalisco, and
Sayulita,
Nayarit. Each one of those cities, it immediately, like, okay.
It's apparent, like
yeah.
right away, why it's considered a Pueblo Magico. Tequila, I felt like it was just this huge party with, of course, lots of tequila, very
and it's
festive.
a history of tequila, lots of history there.
Mazamitla, it felt like Swiss Alps mountain town, the most gorgeous cathedral, all white, super pretty.
Sayulita, well, that's like a kind of a hippie beach town.
So far here, I don't know. Can't really tell what it is about this place, but after we did a little bit of research and found out that it was, what, about 20 years ago or so that the whole Pueblo Magico...
Yeah, 17, approaching 20.
Where they started all this, each of these towns was picked either for its history, an event, the food, some type of special hospitality, or art.
Folklore,
Folklore,
yeah.
I don't even know what that really means, but they each had a reason.
We have learned already that there's a lot of history here. There's ancient ruins that go back a long, long time, pre-Hispanic ruins. It has the most active volcano in all of Mexico.
We're gonna take you guys along as we explore Comala, maybe the volcanoes, maybe some other fun stuff, the local food here, the hairless dogs that I can't pronounce.
We know there's gonna be something that makes this town special, and you're gonna find out what it is as we find it out.
Also coming up, we have some special guests on our channel.
A couple new people that you may already know.
So we're back at the hotel now, and it's actually pretty cool around here. It's sort of situated off the road, and it's got all these trees. There's this river that's right over this way. We like it back here, a lot of nature sounds. Basically right outside our door is this little stream river type deal, which is so beautiful. Whatever that is, that sound, I don't know if that's the most beautiful part, but what do you think that is, a bird?
I'm gonna guess some type of insect.
Oh, an insect?
Yeah.
Before we kick off today's adventures, I wanted to share a story that happened yesterday. We were with these special guests that you guys are going to see later on in this video. We're all talking, walking back to the car from dinner. This young girl comes up, heard us. Whatever that is, they're really belting. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So this young girl walks up because she heard us speaking English, and she tapped me on the shoulder, and she's like, "Habla inglés? Habla inglés?" It sort of caught me off guard, but one of our special guests was like, "Oh yeah, they don't really see gringos around here that often, so she wants to hear you talk in English." What do I say? I don't know. So I sort of was like, "Hi, how are you? Are you having a nice night?" And whatever else I could think of at the time. And her face was just like, like she had never heard someone talk in English in front of her before. But that is kind of interesting that this is so much like a small town and off the tourism path maybe, that there aren't so many people speaking English or gringos around. Oh. So you guys are wondering who our special guests are that we have with us in this video. We have Jim and Mai. Their channel is Spanish and Goats.
If you want to travel to Mexico and learn the basics for ordering in Spanish or how to make a reservation.
Asking for directions.
We're the place.
We're super excited to be exploring around Comala. Coming up, more adventures with these cool cats.
We got a little vasito of tejuino.
Tejuino.
This was full, but
Try it
it's-
again. Tejuino.
Oh, there's just some words I'm never going to be able to pronounce.
Okay,
And
we'll
this is
work on
one
it.
of them. But this was 10 pesos. It was full, but it's really good, and we couldn't help but drink some of it. It's a really deep flavor. We had this once before in Guadalajara, and this is way, way better.
I like it a lot better as well. Would you guys mind explaining why this one is a little better than others you could find?
Well, Mai's the expert of tejuino here, so
So yeah, tejuino is a drink made out of corn. Sometimes they make it with white sugar, but this one is made with piloncillo. That's why it's darker and the flavor is a lot more rich. So this is my favorite drink here in Comala.
and Piloncillo is more of a, it's less processed sugar than others, and it's made usually in like a cone shape that you can get pretty much anywhere
yeah,
around
I've seen those before.
So you could think brown sugar, but specifically the Mexican kind is
Yeah.
in a cone.
Gotcha. I think I may have gone to a market, not knowing this, bought one of those and just tried to eat it like a candy. I haven't, but I probably would have.
So there's this magic zone here in Comala, and if you go to this one part of the road and put your car in neutral, your car will just roll uphill. We're gonna try it out.
I think here's funny.
Yeah.
I'll just stop and see what happens. Going backwards.
Wait.
This is neutral. That's driving.
No, but it looks downhill, and I think you're supposed to go backwards, I bet.
Yeah. The effect is that you go the opposite direction of what it looks like.
Okay.
Ah, see, I definitely thought this was downhill and we're going backwards.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Weird. Magic.
The magic zone.
She's holding her hat because it's about to blow away. But we drove
Storms are brewing.
we drove up the mountain here towards the volcano, which is the most active volcano in all of Mexico. Apparently there's smoke coming out of it pretty often, and there's a bus coming by right now that's going to ruin the video! It's the most active volcano in all of Mexico. There's smoke coming out of it pretty often, and we drove up the mountain here.
We're at this really cool restaurant. We got costillas, which are like ribs and marinated in this delicious sauce with fresh handmade tortillas. I really like dipping it in there and like soaking it
Yeah,
in.
it was really good.
We also got tacos de papa, which are like tacos de aire. Some people have told us cafe de olla and a Coke, and it was all 130 pesos and delicious.
Up the mountain here, we stepped out of the car and it was noticeably cooler than in Comala.
And it's noticeably cooler right now because we're probably about to get stormed on.
Yeah, so we better hop in the car before it starts raining on us.
And we went approximately 30 seconds down the road to go to this coffee shop here. There is a ton of coffee grown in this region using the very fertile soil around the volcano. We tried I had espresso this morning, and it's got to be some of the most smooth coffee with no bitterness at all, so I'm really excited to try some more.
This little coffee shop, they grow the coffee right here, roast the beans right here, they grind it up, and they make it all right here. Even though this is probably super good coffee, if it's the best coffee in the world, I'm probably not going to like it unless it's drowned in milk and sugar, because I'm just not a coffee drinker. Are you excited for this though?
Oh, I'm excited. I love coffee. I love espresso. Have to have it every day. So if it's anything like the espresso from this morning, this coffee, it's So we just finished our coffee.
Mine was basically sugar. So what did you think of it?
Vanilla flavored sugar.
Yeah.
It was very good vanilla flavored sugar. I don't really think I detected coffee in there. But I got an espresso. It was 10 pesos. Yours was 20, by the way. And I thought that
Wait,
was...
what? Your espresso was 20 pesos.
Oh, my espresso
Mine
was
was
20.
30.
My espresso was 20 pesos. Yours was 30. I thought that was super smooth as well. Like this morning where it had like no acidity to it. It's just nice, smooth. You hated it because it tasted like concentrated coffee
Well,
flavor.
that was the first time I've ever had an espresso, and I thought I was going to hate it. In actuality, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. Senora, ven, ven.
Comala trying out something called ponche.
Así que estos son de leche y estos son
De agua.
de agua. Me gustaría probar granada.
Those are good. It's really ¿Gusto probar? Like fresh pomegranate.
This is very unique to Comala. You can't get this anywhere else. It's
For any holiday, anywhere else in the world.
this is pomegranate flavored and it has pomegranate seeds in it. We just tried it. It's really good.
We tried a bunch of them. Some of them are milk based, some of them like this one are water based. Some of them have mezcal in them, some of them have vino tinto, red wine in them.
This particular one has mezcal and it's 13% alcohol and was 65 pesitos.
What's it with this pesitos with you lately? When does a peso become a pesito?
When you want it to sound like it's less.
Oh my god. One of the first things that we noticed about this place, Comala, was that everything's white here. The benches are white, the kiosco, gazebo, El Centro is white, the walls are white, everything is white, and it looks really cool that way. But there was an unintended negative side effect that Mai was telling us about, and that is after a while, people's vision started to break down a little bit and people were having sight issues because the sun is deflecting off these walls and really soaking into your eyes, which we noticed as well. Had to have sunglasses on all the time, so now they're sort of letting the white go away a little bit.
Ironically, there's 3 white cars driving by.
And painting some of the streets and the walls outside of El Centro. Buenos dias, Tangerinis! It is our next day in Comala, but more specifically
In Sushi Land? No.
Sushi Land?
Sushi Land.
Suchitlan.
But we're at this really good restaurant that Jim and Mai recommended for us for breakfast. It's Los Portales de Sushi Land.
Suchitlan. I think it was
Okay.
Sushi Land, but it's about 20 minutes away from Comala, and the ambiance back here is super cool. They just have this canopy of really tall trees.
And speaking of cool, it's partway up the mountain,
it's much
so
cooler.
the food was really good.
The handmade tortillas, oh.
And you got 2 of these gigantic quesadillas that were stuffed with mushrooms and tomatoes and cheese, and they were 25 pesos each. I got chilaquiles con pollo, and those were 80 pesos. And your café de olla?
25. Not my favorite ever, but the quesadillas and the chilaquiles and the salsa and the handmade tortillas made
We're
up
on
for all of
point.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just doing a little bit of shopping and looking around
A
at
bit of
this,
shopping.
a little bit of shopping in this store that's right by the corner of the plaza, and they have so many cool little trinkets in here and things that are very typical of not only Mexico but here in particular, like lots of coffees made here. They sell coffee here, they sell ponche, sell like these dancing dogs that are very common around here. And
Perritos bailandos, I believe, or a socho. Cholo. I'm.
Cholo squinkle. Yep, that's definitely not it.
We're gonna just, yeah.
And we got this very typical Mexican game, Loteria, and we're going to be playing it later. What did you like about the place?
So it's very rare that Jordan ever wants to go in and look at all the artesanias and crafts and clothes with me. And I don't go into places like this to buy anything really. I just like seeing it. I like seeing people's love that goes into stitching and the clothing and creating these leather shoes, pottery items. I mean, they had these little turtles that had what I think is called tiger's eye, the sparkly stone around it. It's just so fascinating to see all of this culture and all of these unique things in one place.
And especially good prices at this particular store.
Yeah, so we got this, did you say how much?
35 pesos.
35 pesos for Loteria. Just about everything in there ranged up to 300 or 400 pesos, including clothing and shoes. I think it's actually kind of incredible how many hours of work are sitting in one store. Everything that was hand painted to say Colima or Manzanillo.
Comala.
Yeah, Comala as well, obviously, that's where we are. I guess I mentioned this in so many videos in so many towns because that's what people are choosing to spend their valuable time doing. Could be pottery or clothing or whatever it might be. So each city is a little bit different, and it's kind of cool to see how history or the culture has shaped that. Throughout the town, it's pretty interesting that instead of the actual logo colors of places like Oxo or Kiosco, they try to keep it much more muted and uniform. So behind us is a silver kiosco so that it's not so much of an eyesore among the theme that they're trying to create in this town, which is very, very white.
What do you think of that? Do you think it like, oh, it's harder to find, it's harder to see, or like I like that it doesn't stand out so much?
I like that it doesn't stand out so much.
Yeah, me too.
So another thing that's very typical of Comala is the sweet bread, the pan dulce. So we're here right now in the best smelling bakery I think I've ever smelled, and Jordan's about to get some glutens. Oh, una galleta.
Creo que es todo.
¿Todo?
I got a cookie and something else, sweet bread. 6 pesos.
For both of these.
Me da dulces. Todos las dulces. Ah.
Looks like you are ready.
No, I didn't.
No? Okay.
6 pesos for the 2 of these? Are you freaking kidding me?
Jordan's gonna be gordito pretty soon. How about that one? Colorful giant pan dulce. Oh, that looks flaky and delicious.
Pretty darn good. Jim and Mai said people come from all over to go to this particular panaderia, and I can see why. What'd you get?
Tequila.
And how much was your food?
Gracias. Free with tequila. Or any other drink. So how do you think this compares to the 2 cantinas we've been to in Guadalajara?
Well, it's very similar in that you just buy your drinks and then you get all the food for free. So that's pretty cool. Like in Guadalajara, the drinks here are more expensive than at other restaurants, so that's kind of to make up for the food being free. But in terms of the quality of the food, I think this is pretty good. What do you think?
I thought it was super flavorful. I liked everything.
¡Ay, no! ¡Mire la lluvia!
Oh my god, I don't know you. So apparently this is very atypical weather for Comala or Colima. This is the rainy season, but it raining for more than like a short while is pretty unheard of, and it has been raining for 4 hours?
Yeah, we were really hoping to see the volcano while we were here, but it can't be cloudy, and it usually isn't. We're told you can almost always see it, but during the time we've been here, we haven't been able to, sadly. We have Topo Chico,
You just shook my Topo Chico. Get
Mazapan.
ready for volcano.
something, algo,
Plátanos con chile, cacahuates,
cacahuates,
palabras,
y
y botanas. Oh, y tequila.
y
Dinero.
Y dinero. Y vasos. Ok.
Vasos.
Pero la más importante, la cosa más importante es un juego, gracias, que se llama Lotería. It's our very first Mexican game ever, so thank you to Jim and Mai for introducing us, breaking our Spanish game virginity.
She went there.
or is it Mexican virginity?
Oh, I meant that.
We don't know who's gonna break the Spanish game, Ginny.
Yeah, I don't know
The
either.
Mexican game, Ginny.
For now, we're busting this out.
So Loteria is a very traditional game we play here in Mexico. This is something that families play together or just friends get together and play it. It has a bunch of words that we're gonna try to teach you guys today. A lot of vocabulary, and this is very representative of Mexican culture.
And you guys said it's very similar to bingo in the US? Okay. Necesito una tarjeta con la campaña. Porque...
Campana.
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 Campana. Porque... Campana.
Toca la campana.
Toca.
Toca la campana.
Toca la campana.
How do you play Loteria? So you first have to choose a card. Someone's gonna have all the cards here, and then we're gonna start calling them. I usually play with just one thing here, like a bean, rice, sometimes you can use
Besito, Jordan
lentils.
says.
¿De qué?
Sí, besito.
Besitos, yeah. So I'm gonna start. El corazón. I'm gonna go through your card.
Y si
If you
tiene
have
el
it,
corazón.
lo pones.
So for children, this is the way that you play. For adults, how would one play?
Then we did the So every time you get one of the images here, you have your tequila and you need to take like a shot of tequila.
Ok, tengo una pregunta. ¿Cuál es la diferencia o qué es la diferencia
¿Cuál?
de
Entre.
ok, ¿cuál es la diferencia entre cotorro, aquí dice cotorro, o loro?
Yo creo, los loros creo que son más grandes y a veces los cotorros son pequeñitos.
¿Ambos son mascotas o solo loros?
Pues
en
los,
México?
los cotorros cuando son chiquitos sí los tienen, las personas los tienen en su casa. Un loro es más exótico y no creo que es legal tener loros en tu casa.
¿De veras?
¿Conoces gente que tiene?
Pues en nuestras lecciones siempre dice que la gente tiene loros como mascotas.
Oh, de verdad.
Sí, that's what they taught us. That in Mexico, people have the pet loros, like small green birds.
Sí, vamos a empezar con la sandía. La sandía.
Yo tengo sandía. Salud.
Come on.
Salud.
El soldado.
Good morning once again. It's our fourth day here. Yeah, it's our fourth day
Something
here.
like that. Our very last day.
The last 3 nights we stayed at Hotel Posada Comala, 450 a night. So considering that price,
450 pesos,
Yeah.
obviously.
what do you think of it?
I think it's a really good budget-friendly option. We've lately, Jordan and I have been doing a grateful or thankful exercise every day where we each say 3 things that we're thankful for, and those 3 things go to this hotel for a very comfy bed, AC, and it's super quiet and nice back here. You can probably hear behind us the sounds of the creek, which was super, super cool to have. Would you come back?
Yeah, I'd stay here again.
Me too. All right, one more day of adventures. Let's do it.
We are in the town Villa de Alvarez. It's a little outside of Colima, a little outside of Comala, and we are in
El centro del centro.
the center of town. Have to get real with you. This is extremely dangerous what I'm about to do. I'm not only in a level 4 do not travel zone here in Colima, but I am walking to the most active volcano in Mexico, and I will be right by the tip of it. Let's go.
Don't do it, Jordan.
Jim and Mai said this was going to take all day to hike here, so let's see how long it takes.
Okay, I have to be very careful. I'm right here by the top. It didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. Is this actually going to make it in the video?
Probably. I'll be honest, it's much smaller than I was expecting. Doesn't look quite as dangerous, but you never know with these things. Okay, all joking aside, we really did want to go to the volcano because it is one of the biggest attractions of Colima. I mean, it's the most active volcano in Mexico. It erupts every few years. It's due for an eruption.
To give you an idea of how massive this thing is, you drive up the highway for like an hour, and then you get to this small town that's pretty close to the volcano. But from there, you drive up the sketchy road for like another hour. And then from there, you hike for 12 hours.
Today we are talking with Jim and Mai about a very, very highly debated, highly controversial topic, and that is Mexico safe, or how safe is Mexico? Specifically, how safe is Colima, considering it is considered by the US State Department a level 4 do not travel here, similar to, is it Syria?
Syria, where there's like a big war going on.
War zone. So we've spent 4 days here, and honestly, if with that short amount of time, we are not qualified to say whether it's safe or not, but someone who is Mai, who has lived here her whole life. What do you think about the fact that the US considers this a level 4 do not travel war zone?
I feel like the situation here in Colima is just like some other places in Mexico is related to drugs and the cartel. There are things like bad things happening here, but never targeted to tourists. There's people dying in the state, yes.
Yes.
Was it targeted
a
to
lot.
Mexicans?
If they're in bad stuff, yes.
Involved in the
Involved.
stuff that you don't want to get involved in.
Yes. So I'm not gonna say that yes, everything is peace and it's
Nothing
amazing
bad
here,
happens.
Nothing bad happens, because it does happen, and you do hear it on the news here, and you do meet people whose family members have died, but it's usually because they are involved in something. You, as a foreigner, and you've lived here with me. We've lived here
On and off for
on
like
and
the
off,
last
yeah.
8 years.
Yeah.
And as a gringo, as a foreigner, do you feel like you're ever caught in the crossfire of this thing, or seen differently, targeted?
Not at all. I think I'm seen differently because Colima doesn't see a lot of tourism, so there's not a lot of people from the States here anyway. I think I stand out because of that. I remember the first time coming here, I was getting lots of looks. I noticed a lot of people noticing me.
Especially in Comala, where
right,
my
yeah.
mom lives. Yeah, in Comala, sometimes you're the only gringo there, running without a shirt. So everybody's like, what is this guy doing?
The crazy gringo desnudo, right?
Encuerado.
It doesn't feel like a war zone, that's for sure. And I've never seen any crime go down here. And I've never been afraid for myself or my belongings. I'm fairly confident that the problems here are having to do with the drug trade and if you're involved in cartels. There's a clash over whose territory this is for the cartels right now in Colima. And that's where most of the violence comes from.
We like to remind people there could be a shooting, there could be a fight, there could be something, but that's not a Mexico thing. That's
Exactly.
just a thing that
Anywhere
happens.
with people and guns.
Drunk people,
people
people on
driving, yes.
different states.
Yes.
The way that I see this situation is this. We noticed something when we were coming into Colima, and that is we were sitting in a long line of cars. So eventually someone was like, turn around, there's no passing here. We're like, okay, well, we can't wait here forever. So we turned around, opened up Google Maps, and tried to find a different route. Well, it turns out that the next available one, or the fastest one, would be a 2 to 3 hour detour completely in a different direction. So with that in mind, it does seem like if, for instance, there were 2 avocado sellers and one avocado seller wanted to be the only avocado seller in this area, everyone's still having to be funneled through this one road or else drive hours and hours out of the way. So that can be a little bit of a competition, and you want to be the only one on this road, you want to be the only one selling avocados, there's going to be a little bit of strife. So that's sort of how I see this, and maybe why Colima is specifically in this situation of a level 4, because everyone has to be funneled through the same way.
Not a lot of roads going through the mountains.
Yeah. So first impressions of Comala, Colima.
Super safe, really quaint, pretty quiet.
It does have a lot of white. It is kind of hard to see without sunglasses. The people are very nice. I noticed right away that the vendors are a little bit different than in a lot of places where they'll ask you if you want to buy something that they're selling and you say no politely, and they might stay at your table for an awkward 5 to 10 seconds hoping that you'll feel pressured into getting something. They do not do that here.
Something we noticed being around Jim and Mai these last 4 days is every time they don't want to buy something from a vendor, they say pretty much the same thing. Ahorita no, like ahora, but ita. Ahorita no, gracias. And that's it. So we're going to try that back in other places.
Because a while back you guys told us to say gracias instead of no gracias, because for some reason that invites more of a conversation. So we're going to try this new phrase out. Again, they're great at teaching Spanish, even just by osmosis, just being around them, we're learning a lot. So at the beginning of this video, we asked what really makes Comala special? Why is it a Pueblo Magico? Well, now that we've been here for a few days, there are a few reasons why we think it is.
It has a lot of history, and there's some things that are very unique to here.
Like ponche, which is a alcoholic type
Punch?
Punch, yeah, I mean it's this bottled stuff. It can be flavored like almonds, caramel, fruit flavors.
One of the really popular ones is cafe.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's yum.
And because coffee.
Oh, and because here in Comala and Colima, coffee, they are famous for coffee. They grow much of it by the volcanoes because the soil is so rich and fertile that it makes it taste amazing. And seriously, I don't think I can have another coffee again in Mexico unless somebody can tell me that there's some better stuff out there. I don't know.
One thing that we thought was pretty cool here that we had never seen before in Mexico, these dancing dogs. Lots of sculptures and renderings of these pre-Hispanic dogs have been found here. These artifacts have been found here. So around town there's lots of these statues, and in the shops.
The story that Jim and Mai told us was that these artifacts were discovered and many people thought that it was an older dog whispering into a younger dog's ear secrets or lessons or stories or something like that. So it looks like they're dancing, but there could be some imparted wisdom there. I thought that was kind of fascinating, and so that's become somewhat of a symbol of this town and definitely a pretty interesting nugget of culture here. Alright, so it's been approximately 4 days now, and we first met Jim and Mai on Sunday. We clicked right away, and if we had met them on the street, I think we would have been friends, YouTube channels aside. It is still awkward to do a collaboration because each of our channels are colliding. We have a certain style, they have a certain style.
Please keep that in mind, that it can be tough to fuse two totally different styles into one that works. We're kind of weird.
We're weird. But at the end of the day, Jim and Mai are super great people, and we're very happy that we have the opportunity to get to know them and be friends with them. And although this may not be your typical Tangerine Travels video, we hope you like it anyway. I am on a teeter-totter, and Jordan will not let me down. Ah! So what Jordan has here is the remnants of us trying tuba for the first time, and that is going to be part of Jim and Mai's video on their channel Spanish and Go, so you get to see us trying a bunch of traditional Mexican drinks and our reactions, whether we liked or didn't like or made funny faces. So definitely check out that video. It's going to be up today, and we'll link to that down in the description.
Guys, if you want to travel and learn Spanish, we're your resource for doing so. We go over cultural things in Mexico and other Spanish-speaking countries, things to do, and practical advice.
We call it Real World Travel Spanish, so go check it out.
Yeah, we love their videos. You mentioned ordering food and like going shopping. There's so many words you need to know. They get straight to the point, tell you exactly what you need to know. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up.
And subscribe to our channel and Spanish and Go's channel if you liked it. Hope you enjoyed this channels colliding collaboration. And one last thing. Gong that bell so you get notified the next time we put out a new video, and we'll see you there.